Yes, we're back. Okay, excluding my patrons and my channel members, you guys, if everything went according to plan, should be watching this Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And it is a very, very special reason. I want you guys to see it at that time because my plane lands at 12:30 p.m. in New York. I have never been to the state of New York before in my life. It's my first time. I'm going to finally get to hang out. For a week with my best friend Stephanie Harlow. We're gonna make a couple of videos, do some vlogs, and just have a really, really great time. So as soon as you see this, I'm like super all excited. I will be recording from my end. Stephanie will be recording from her end. And when we put the vlogs together to how we met and my trip visiting New York. So this is me coming back to my series called Crimes with Chrymes. And if for those of you who's new to my channel, the Crimes of Crime segment was always about newer cases that I haven't really had the opportunity to do a deep dive on at this time. I may maybe one specific asset about the case that I really want to discuss, such as I do on this case here with Trent Paschal, that I want to talk to you guys about. Or it may be something where a case is just starting and it probably won't go to court until next year sometime. If you are new to my channel and someone told you to come watch this guy named John Chrymes, he makes good videos. I would like for you to watch one of my full deep dive videos where I do real documentaries before you make a judgment, because this doesn't have a lot of depth to it as to when I do a real deep dive on a case. The playlist for all of my full documentaries will be the top pinned comment on this, so you can click that link, and I'll also put it in the description of this video. So this will keep my channel running with quicker videos that I can put out and give my opinion on stuff, while it takes me time to work with the family of missing victims, of victims that's lost their lives, to make a more in-depth video. So without further ado, let's begin on the Trent Paschal. I apologize. We shouldn't be calling this. We really should be calling it Savannah Paschal, because that is the person that lost their life on October of 2020 in a town called Lamarck, Texas. Now, here's the story of Savannah and Trent. Trent, 48 years old, Savannah, 30 years old, when she lost her life by gunshot wounds from her husband, Trent. So he married a younger woman, and he had some insecurities coming into the relationship, as he stated that he told her that, you're much younger than me, go live your life if you like. He's basically trying to say, hey, I'm trying to give you a way out, which at this point, I really do wish that Savannah would have taken his advice. Now, they got married, and Savannah had a little boy by the name of William coming into the relationship with Trent. So he has a younger wife who has a son, which is his stepson. And then they have a little girl by the name of Mackenzie, who's his biological daughter. It appears that he sensed some infidelity in the relationship coming from Savannah, which is what we're going to talk about here today. And from this infidelity, he felt that it gave him a license to kill. So what happened on October the 20th, there was some sort of an argument that occurred earlier that day, which she was worried, and she left the house. Now, Savannah is with her mother at this time, and Trent leaves. And this is crazy because this happened sort of at another relative's house. It appears that he went inside of this house and he recorded a YouTube video. He did have a YouTube channel. I tried to find it. The YouTube channel is gone, but I was able to find the actual video, and also took screenshots from other people who covered this. A woman by the name of Mommy Ramblings. I think her name is Mommy Ramblings. She covered this story, so she posted pictures of his YouTube channel before it was removed. And I'll place the photos here that you can see. And we're going to discuss some of the things in the photo as well, too. So he's making this recording video to Mackenzie, his biological daughter, and to his stepson. We'll get into those details if it's really to his stepson or not. But he talks to his daughter and he talks to his stepson in the video, which I'm going to play some of here.
Sorry, I keep looking at the cameras. I don't know how much time I have.
Now, people have suspected that the video was made after he committed the murder, but I disagree with that. As you can see at the end of the video, he's running down the hallway. It looks like he's running to go set up for the actual murder. And as he runs down the hallway, Savannah comes in with her mom, and he hides in the bathroom. He hides in the bathtub inside of the shower. So Savannah comes inside of the bathroom, and then he says that he's going to shoot her. Savannah's mom closes the bathroom door, or he closes the bathroom door. I'm sorry, I'm not, don't quote me on those details of who actually closed the bathroom door. But Savannah's mom ran down the hallway. She fell several times running out. And as she was running out of the house, she heard gunshots as she ran to a neighbor's house. Trent then, after shooting Savannah twice in the abdomen, he called her aunt, a woman by the name of Sharon Glenn, to confess to the actual murders. This was caught by one of the neighbors' surveillance footage of the house, and they were able to capture the audio recording, which police heard him admitting that he shot his wife twice. He immediately went on the run for several hours, and while he was on the run, police saw him trying to exit Walmart, and upon a patrolman seeing him exiting Walmart, he pulled out a revolver and held it in the air, causing the police officer to shoot him, I think, twice in the arm and in the abdomen, which put him on critical condition in the hospital. Thankfully, and I do mean thankfully, Trent actually survived the shooting, and now he's going to have to answer for his crimes. So in a nutshell, that's the story that happened. If I were to add anything to it, I add that Savannah actually worked at a funeral home, and she was a spokesperson for domestic violence, and she was currently trying to raise funds for domestic violence at the time of her murder, which is so sad and tragic. And a lot of times, you know, I've discussed on my channel, when you see a family strongly advocating to take the dangerous railways out of the center of the interstate, because they probably had a son that crashed into those railways. It's something that happens in your life personally that oftentimes, from the empathy or the sympathy at that point, it causes you to fight for those causes. And it makes me wonder, did Savannah want to fight for the causes of domestic violence coming from the domestic violence of Trent? Now that we have the story, what I really wanted to make this video for was to actually break down, because on my channel, we discuss how people run through things so easily and they forget what they're actually doing. So I want to run through this information slowly and break down. And the first thing I want to break down is this part of Trent's video.
I'm recording this because I want my daughter to know that I love you, Mackenzie, Paschal. I'm so sorry that I've done this. I want you to know that you mean everything to me. And William, I love you too. I love you so much. I love you like you're my own. I didn't choose this. Your mom chose this. She's been cheating on me for a long time. I have audio of her talking to other guys. I didn't do nothing wrong to her. When we first got together, I told her, "You're too young for me." There's an 18-year-old difference in her age. And I knew she was kind of too young, but I didn't. She's been playing me for a fool. I told her not to mess with me, not to mess with my emotions. Don't play with me. I got an audio where she was calling a guy yesterday on her way to get her eyelashes done. And she said, "Hey, baby." And he goes, "Hey." And I was like, "That's not my voice." Why is she calling somebody else baby? Then she started talking about a dream and everything, and she had with them too about sex and everything. And I put everything into this relationship. I have done nothing to your mom. I've never hit her. I've never hurt her. I've never called her names. A couple of times when I got really mad, I would say a bad word or something, but I've done everything I can. I'm like, why me? My hair's a mess and I look horrible. Oh, sorry. Take these off.
All right. If Trent was to see this video, I'm going to talk directly to Trent as if he's watching this right here. So I want to ask you, Trent, when you was making this video for Mackenzie, your daughter, and William, your stepson, were you making this to them at the age now? Or were you making this for them at the age in the future? Is there certain things that you said that boggles me? You know, you're talking to them as if they're little children. But when they do the actual research on this case, it's going to be older and throughout their life. One thing you said, you wanted to make sure that your daughter go on to do great things in life. If you really love your daughter and you want them to do great things in life, do you think that your daughter will have a better chance of doing these things being raised with her biological mother that could love her unlike any other mother on the face of this earth? Or do you think that your daughter Mackenzie will have a much easier time doing this, knowing that her mother is deceased and her father is gone for shooting her? Now, I'm not going to even say going to prison because your goal was not to go to prison. You wanted to be killed by cop suicide. You wanted to raise your gun in hopes that the police kill you so you're no longer here. So when you're talking to your daughter Mackenzie in this video, do you actually think that her life was going to be better coming from a foster home or staying with her grandmother with these tragic, devastating things on her head, being picked on in school, laughed at, your dad's a crazy killer and killed your cheating mom, telling, even if it's true or not true? Also, too, when Mackenzie and William are older and they want to investigate the whole case that happened with their mother, do you actually think that they're going to give a damn about looking at the details of her allegedly sleeping with someone else or actually flirting with someone else? Or do you think they're going to put more stock into what you did? Also, I wanted to ask you, Trent, when I look up information on what you did, all I saw was titles saying that you use her infidelity as an excuse or as it gave you a right. So these are strangers who don't know you at all. These are professional news networks. They're all labeling this as you think that this gives you a license to kill. They're labeling you as the bad guy, Trent. If strangers are labeling you as the bad guy, what do you think is going to happen to grown adult Mackenzie and adult William when they do their research on this? Do you think that they're going to say, oh, screw everything and the decency and the reason we have fair trial in the United States, the reason we have laws and punishments to fit those laws, allegedly, if what you're saying is true? Life isn't about people forcing you to do anything. Life is about the choices that you made. And you have shown Mackenzie that you are a coward and you cannot face the reality that we live in. See, what you didn't bet on is that when Mackenzie was born and put on this earth, when you looked at her in the hospital, when she came out of your beautiful young wife, Savannah, you put that newborn baby in a world of pain. She is going to break one of the bones in her body. If she won't, William will. I don't know too many people that's watching this video that's never broken a bone in their body. It's actually pain. Have to deal with that you go through in life. When Mackenzie was born, you put her through pain because some guy is going to break her heart. She is not going to want to eat. She's going to lay in bed. But now, she doesn't have the mother to talk her through this. The actual happy life you want Mackenzie to live. What I'm getting at, William, when you put Mackenzie on this earth, there's a strong chance we live in a harsh, crappy world that she may be cheated on. Maybe. Strong possibility. But in this harsh world that we're in, We don't get to go out and end someone's life. We have to deal with it. What does it say of you, percentage-wise, for all these people that infidelity may have occurred, that they stuck it out, they cried, they went through a nasty divorce proceedings, they went through everything everybody else did and had to go through in life, the reality of the world we live in. But you got the easy cop out. You didn't have to hurt or go through anything. You shot someone. You shot someone like a coward. You couldn't even hold the gun to Savannah's face. You shot her in the stomach twice. You shot her mom in the stomach and let her bleed out on the floor. And you expect this little girl to run across this video someday in the future on the internet and receive all of this mental pain and anguish that's about to come her way from the harsh world we live in. And in this, you want her to have a better life because you love her. That's not true, Trent. You love Trent. Trent got hurt, Trent got to go. Trent got hurt, everybody got to go. You were going to take her mother's life. So let me get this straight, Trent. You made an actual video, and in this video, you're talking to your loving daughter and your loving stepson after taking their mother and grandmother because it was your plan to take her out. The door closed, and she made it to safety. If not, you've taken out children's mother and grandmother. And in this, in your crazy thinking, you care about those two kids. You don't even care about William, because we can debate if the video was even made for William, your stepson, because you only titled it for your daughter. You mainly spoke to your daughter in the video. Can't be playing stepdad and stepmom. You're going to be with someone that has a child. You love them and treat them the same way you treat your child. But you made that video to Mackenzie. And in that video, you actually alluded to yourself and how you look and fixing your glasses. What do you think is going to be most important to Mackenzie? The way you look in the video? Or her realizing you killed her mother? Such a cruel world that we live in. And I may keep up with this case in the future. I may not. It seems to be open and shut of another narcissistic, selfish, crazy, wimpy, pathetic asshole. But I do want to know, and I hope that the children stay together. I hope they don't get split up like most children do when they lose both parents. In our horrible foster system, as we know from the cases I have covered on this channel, cases like the Hart kids who were with a crazy adopted family, and other cases where people were murdered. After I leave Stephanie Harlow in New York, I'm flying back to Atlanta, Georgia, and I was surprised on the Lanny Daniel case that's in a small town in Georgia called McDonough, Georgia, where I actually live, where a lawyer adopted a baby girl and beat her to death. And the grandmother of that baby contacted me while I'm out here in California. And now that I'm flying back, I probably will meet up with her and work on another horrible case. But this is what you subjected your children, Mackenzie and William, into. You're no longer in control. You're supposed to be dead, but you was too much of a coward. They shot you in the abdomen the same way you shot Savannah in the abdomen. But your goal was not to be here. So you would have never known if they were split up or together, if their grandparents, if the state of Texas is going to let their grandparents keep them, or if the state of Texas is going to split them up. It was the state of Texas that took the Hart kids and gave them to a couple. And took all 6 of the Hart kids and gave them to a couple. It was the state of Texas that was involved with this system where they were funneling foster kids away out of Texas to couples that may not have fit the bill to adopt them. This is what you subjected your children to, Trent. So miss me with that BS. I found you, Trent. I found you because my friend Live Abuse Free covered this and she played the video. And I only watched her channel because Live Abuse Free was covering a guy by the name of Derek Jackson. See, Derek Jackson cheated on his wife, and Derek Jackson is the most villainous person in the world this past week. You know why he's a villain? You know why his wife isn't a villain? Because his wife had to go through this, so his wife is a victim. If you really wanted to make Savannah look bad, you should have just got a divorce. You should have just done the right thing And then that way they would have looked at her. If what you are alleging is true, we don't even know if that's true. But if what you're alleging is true, then maybe people would have looked at Savannah as being bad because she just would have been the person that's committing the infidelity and you would have been a victim. But the moment you picked up that gun, the moment you plotted to do this and to take her life, Savannah is literally the victim. And you are just a piece of shit that will now rot in prison. And I hope you find out after Mackenzie and William grow up to become a young man and a young woman and do all of their research. I hope you get a visit from them and you can see how they feel after watching your video. That's all we have for our first time foraying back into Crimes with Chrymes. I will be making one while I'm in New York, keeping this series going. And if you like to hear me speak on quick cases and stuff like this, shoot them over to me. I'll be more than happy to do this for you guys as I work on my true crime documentary cases. And until then, you guys know what I always say, don't kill, make a sandwich. See you next time.